Hello, 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 everybody! How are we doing today? How are you, chat? I can see you guys have been talking while I was a little busy. But how are you guys doing today, chat? I'm gonna read some of your guys' messages with you guys. Respond to how your day has been. So yeah, hi. Hello, DJ. Hello, Oddly. Um, that's the goal anyways, DJ. With the whole a million subscribers. I'm doing okay. I will state this. The reason why I no stream yesterday was there was potentially something going on for me then, but also I was exhausted from my trip. And I went to Utah actually with a friend. You may know them as Fire Creeper. So yeah, we went to Utah on Sunday through Tuesday. The reason why we did that because on Monday there was a concert that Fire Creeper really wanted to see. So we went to that, and then Tuesday we drove home. And yeah, I was just like, I'm not gonna stream most likely yesterday, but I'm guaranteed at least one stream, and I picked today because that would be probably the best. I don't know if you guys saw my community post, but there is the I'm not guaranteeing it, but there is a maybe stream on either this Saturday or next Saturday, and it's gonna be Minecraft based. I will state that we will have a Minecraft stream once again, and it will be featuring some of the people that have been already on the channel before. So, yay! But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on right now. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on that end, so don't get your hopes up this Saturday. It might be next Saturday. Glad to hear. Yeah, same. I'm gonna get the game up because we need this game up. So yeah, we are going to be trying to finish up the Our Life opener and get the 3 stories in. But yeah, that's today's stream. We're gonna finish up what we started last week. And also, I'm not too time restricted to my knowledge. If I am, then I will probably leave. I will state this, there is potentially a planned stream between me and Fire Creeper, so we can go more in depth on that, and Fire Creeper can explain on her side, and I'll explain on my side how this trip went. That's nice to hear. Yeah, I will say this, I have enjoyed my trip to Utah. Just a note to self to y'all. Do not leave me in Utah. You will have an angry fox boy out in the wild. That's for sure. And Our Life is up. So you know what that means. We're gonna cut the music. You guys lost the music. And I'm gonna actually load up the game. And let's transition you guys over to the game screen. Woo! Let me pull up your chat. Yeah, no, I have a lot of plans going on. Oh, damn. I've been in a few states, but I can go more in details in a later stream. Anyways, we're gonna move over to Our Life here. I like the music. Sorry, DJ. No more music for you. Anyways, I apparently left it out Cove saying Mom. So, here we go. Time for Dyslexic Fox Boy to be reading. Mom. She just ruffled his hair with a laugh, then moved her hand down to tap the end of his nose. Again, keep in mind, this person right here, she is in her 30s. Keep that in mind. She's in her 30s, I believe, at the time we meet her. Which is what I find crazy. And that was how the issue was resolved. At least between Cove and his mom. Oh, don't tell me we're so close to the ending. Well, hold on. We haven't met Cliff, I'm pretty sure. But if we're so close to the ending, then oh my word. I could have just finished it up last stream. Anyways, when the three of you left the restaurant and Kara had paid the bill, you walked back to your neighborhood slowly. Nah. You had eaten so much by that time, you were beginning to feel sleepy. I feel that all the time. I know, and I'm too lazy to fix that. Oddly, I know, I'm too lazy to fix it. That would make sense. It didn't help that lunch had happened late and the sun was already beginning to descend from the sky. There's Cliff! There's the man in the hour! But eventually you reached your street. Someone was there to greet your group upon arrival. Welcome back, family. And Dawn, too. Cliff. Oh, you know this is gonna go seriously. This music feels relaxing. It generally is, honestly, and I'm glad the people behind Our Life picked it. It's really good. But yeah, Kara, Cliff, Dad. I love how his face changed. He knows he done goof. The two walk past him into the condo without sparing another word. Despite the summer's heat, their shoulders were cold. Literally. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. He rubbed the back of his neck with a crooked smile, but his eyes were soft as he looked on after them. He's so much like his mom, don't you think? You gave him a vague nod, not sure what he was expecting you to do. He nodded back, far more energy. But yeah, no. Dude, you are in trouble with your ex and your son. Okay, have a nice night, Don. You too, Mr. Holland. And with that, Ko's dad disappeared to join the others inside. It was your turn to go home now. Not fair. Anyways, summer had started off at all how you imagined it would be thought of. Turned out to set the tone well. Mr. Holland, yeah. Having Kyra in the neighborhood was an experience for not only you and Cove, but also both of your families. And have a dual moment was rarely had. And we are starting. We could have finished it. And we could have just started. Yet again, I didn't know remember how long, so playing it safe there was probably the better option. But yeah, no, we are going to be doing all these, of course. But today's stream, it's going to be these first three. Florida's the best. Actually, the place is actually set in California. And that's actually pretty close to where I live. I want to go there again. Dang. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be doing ways of growing a family. And then we'll have dinner, road trip, mall, birthday next stream. And then to wrap it up, it's the rest of these and the end of summer. So, let's hit the waves. The family shopping trip had lasted most of the morning, and you still had to unload everything from the truck before you could go enjoy the afternoon. You cradled another bag in your arms as you headed towards your house. It was one of the heavier bags from the grocery stores. Good. Go to Canada is much better. I do want to. I depending how it goes, I might want to go to Canada. Like, I won't. As a Canadian, I know. But yeah, no, I do think I wouldn't mind going to Canada. That's for sure. Anyways, where was I? Loaded with fresh apples, ripe tomatoes, a bunch of carrots, and even half a watermelon. Well, you guys discussed that in chat. I'm gonna continue reading. Ma came out the front door and paused just ahead of you.
It's no trouble.
Need any help with that done? I can bring the rest of the way if you want me to. No. Honestly, 13-year-old me would actually be able to. So I would say that no, I'm fine. Hi, Luna. Welcome to the stream. You just missed Cliff, by the way, Luna. Because we just started the first story. Even if it was a large, it wasn't really any problem for you. Ma gave you an encouraging grin, rustled her fingers through your blue hair. You set the big bag onto the counter. Your older sister began to root around inside for continents with a sigh. How much is left? Still a few more bags. Cliff is Co's dad, Luna. With a huff and a puff, Elizabeth continued packing away the groceries, and you retreated out of the kitchen before you could become the target of her bad mood. Girl's on her period.
Be careful.
Careful, Dawn. Oh, okay. Okay. You haven't been looking where you were going and bumped right into Mom, almost stepping on her toes to boot. Ooh, no. I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry. I can give you a pass this time, but be sure to watch where you're going. If you run into the wrong person, you might get your license revoked. Yeah, we're doing the story of Wave, Luna. Which, we're not at the beach yet. She grinned at the pet joke as you continued through the door. Outside, Ma had started organizing what remained and put back any loose objects that had fallen out during the trip. When you stepped up to the trunk beside her, she took in a big breath of air. Her dress gently swaying around in the breeze.
It's a shame.
It's a shame. We had spent the morning cooped up in that shopping center. It's a beautiful day, don't you think? You tilt your head to the sky, glazed at the clear blue expanse. Yes, it is. Today, my favorite. It's too hot. I wish it's raining. I like it when it's stormy the best. I will state this. I don't mind like a nice summer day. It's just, I hate too much heat. But I would say right now, it's gotta be my favorite. Ma smiled at you, her amber eyes glistening with affection. You and your sister are a lot alike in a way, and me too. You gave her a familiar look, but eventually you turned back to help her with the last of the bags. Same. Oh, hi, Cove. Cove? Excuse me, Cove? You notice Mom waved over at Cove, who had just exited his front door, his surfboard proper up under one arm. Cove is a surfer, boys and girls. Oddly, it's just like, as a Canadian, somewhere he could go die somewhere else, not here. But yeah, no, Cove's a surfer, y'all.
Hmm.
Let's see, surfboard and a wetsuit. A wetsuit? Excuse me. Where, where might you be off to in this beautiful day? It'd be too hot. Oh, did not click on the game. Whoops. Oh my gosh, that's actually a nice swimsuit. I'm totally not blushing, chat. Cove instantly startled, not having realized your family was also out here, even though your mom was the one who called out. You were the one he looked at. He's blushing. He's blushing, chat. Like, look at that. Ah. I hate it when I'm hot. Honestly, that's me if I ever have an air conditioner in my room. My room it's like the hottest point in the house, and then it becomes the coldest one. So yeah, it ends up becoming a cycle almost. Spring and autumn since. Okay, that's kind of where I'm at too, oddly. It's like where I live, spring and autumn are the best time to come out. Anyways, moving on. He tried to settle down again. He jogged across the pavement to properly say hello, and to you and your parents. It was decently awkward since Cove had trouble figuring out how close to stand to you. The attention of his unwillingness surfboard made the whole thing seem even clumsier. Is it fair? That's fair, Luna. Oh my gosh. Careful with that thing. You could put someone's eyes out. He's blushing again! He's blushing again, chat. Mom chuckled and got a whisper reapproach from Ma for it. Pam, go easy on him. Cove wins. Sorry, Miss Fox. Don't mind her, honey. It's a beautiful day for surfing. I haven't been out on the waves for a long time. I'm just... Chat. One of my parents is a surfer. Don't go to Montreal or Toronto. Go like town. Noted. No, Cove's blushing. It is cute. But also, one of my parents are a surfer. Oh, Cove. Yeah, I'm hoping to get a good few waves before it gets dark. Hi, Cove. Oh my gosh, that sudden look. Oh my gosh, Cove. This is why I have problems falling in love with fictional men. Oh, I hate that. Anyways, he had relaxed a lot when Moss spoke to him, but the rigidity came back as soon as you said something.
Hey.
Hi, Don. He's blushing again. He's blushing again. Cove managed to grin, and it almost felt like you had butterflies in your stomach. Ah! Do you want to come hang out, leader? You noticed the flush of red on his cheeks, but that might have just been from the heat. Uh-huh, sure, the heat. It's just like, that is, like, sure, the heat. We'll go with that. Sure, I'll meet you there when I'm done. Someone's blushing. Most likely. Oh yeah, I could do that. All right. I can't this time. You know what? I will be honest. Sure, I'll beat you when I'm done. Cool. When he spoke again, he tried to contain some of the excitement that was clearly ready to burst out. The heat. Yeah, the heat. It'll be fun. You're not done unloading, right? Can I help? Oh my god.
No, no, no.
No, no. This is our job. You go enjoy the beach. Mom, please, just let him help. Let me just be near my future husband, please. Please. Don can catch up as soon as he finished here. Alright, see you. No, why? Mom, why? Yeah, bye for now. Ouch, my heart. It hurts. Cove headed down to the beach with more skips in his step than normal. It was really cute. You smiled softly to yourself at the thought that you'd be joining him soon. He sure seemed to perk up after you greeted him there. I wonder why that could be. Uh, 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 nothing. Ma, who gave... Now, who's giving him a hard time? Leanne?
Shush.
Shush, it's different. Are you sure, Ma? Are you sure? Take me, Cove. Take me, Cove. I want to go. DJ, you're not going to come between me and my man. Ma's face broke into an incendious grin. Are you sure? In what way? I'm being supportive, and he can't hear it. Mom laughed, full on laughed at time.
Lonnie.
You're the worst of us when it comes to this. Honestly, I keep trying to warn people, but they won't listen. Damn, parents are arguing in a fun way. I only wanted to help. I think it's fair to say he might need it. What? The beach is fun. I won't blame you on that one. The beaches are fun. I think it's only fair he might need it. Melder. But you have a point. Right? You narrow your eyes at their teasing, and they simply chuckled inconspicuously before taking more bags from the trunk and heading inside. Oh, jeez. Once everything was taken in and put away, you got yourself ready to meet Cove at the beach. Okay. I will state I have a surfboard. In real life, I don't, because I don't live near any beach. So we'll state, in this timeline, I know how to surf, and I have my own surfboard. You've been practicing your surfboard more and more lately. It was always ready to go. After grabbing your board and getting ready, everything ready, you head down onto the beach.
Have fun.
Have fun, honey. Stay safe. When you arrived at the shore, you were greeted by a crash of waves and the soft calls of seagull. You took in a lungful of the ocean air and felt your peach skin warm in the sun. No. So sort of, hey, to each their own, honestly. Like, I wouldn't mind living like on the coastal, but at the same time, I like to kind of be a little bit in the forest. So I'm a mix of, yeah, I would live like in this world here, but at the same time, I'm fine with staying where I'm at. Um, anyways, you notice a small setup nearby with a towel, some sunscreen, and a bottle of water. It must be Cove's. I got a lake. That was a beach. And nice. Yeah, I. I'm calling you DJ for right now. I'm new. Like, yeah, yeah. No, there is some lakes that can be beaches. Anyways, where was I? You spotted Cove himself nearby. He hadn't gone out to sea yet. He was just sitting in the sand at the water edge, his board propped up beside him. You walked up beside him. Okay, that's like weirding. Hi, I made it. Dawn! He looked up. He looked at you with a smile and simply hopped to his feet. I was wondering if you were still coming. Hey, I'm not gonna force people. It's just more of a we'll see kind of attitude. Okay, see you, DJ. I would have missed it. Sorry for the wait. And stay inside all day? I don't think so. Honestly, if I was in this scenario, I would probably be hanging out more with friends. And I would say this. You were able to make him laugh with that. Then he cast his eyes out towards the waves. Cove, I'm not that good at surfing. I'm ready to go out there when I have a competition. I will probably say that we've both been surfing enough times. I'll probably say ready to go out there. Me too. Let's go. You tuck your board under your arm and nodded at him. The two of you ran into the water together. Okay, the question is, chat. What kind of board could you see me as, like having, like a surfboard? Like, what would you think my surfboard would be? Like colors, patterns, what would it be? I'm very curious of what you guys think based off of me currently. Anyways, while that's going on, I will continue reading. You paddled into the sea where the good waves were. The water was cool against your skin.
It's nice.
Not too calm, but nothing crazy. It looks perfect today. He smiled at you, and you couldn't help but smile back, but you felt totally content. Until Cove kicked the water a little too hard and intentionally splashed you. Probably something with your hoodie's color. And yep, that's what I figured as well. I was also thinking maybe even like a fox somewhere on there. Like, let's be real. So like a purple black with a fox on there. Like, I think that would fit me, honestly. Hey! Sorry. You weren't sorry. The apology did not come across as especially repellent, as he was practically laughing when he said it. Yep, no, you're not sorry. I flushed him back. You laughed, but waited for the opening for revenge. The second he looked away, you kicked back, spraying him. It quickly developed into a splash war. You had no idea who was winning at the point when the ocean decided to throw its weight around and douse you both with a tall wave. Cove laughed, his smile infectious. You couldn't help but join in. Draw. Yeah. You nodded at one another from your boards, bringing the war to a peaceful end. Cove pointed out into the distance. You followed his finger and see some nice looking waves. Hey, let's get it going. You agreed, and you agreed. No doubt there was room for you to do something good. You were ready to have some fun. You started taking on waves. Cove tried out a few tricks, and you got into a rhythm of finding just the right waves. Have you ever thought of what the fish in the ocean, in other oceans, animal things we're doing here? Have you?
Not really.
Not really. Welcome back, DJ. Okay. It seemed that was all he was going to say on the topic. You started to turn away to paddle to the next wave when he spoke again. Oh, that's weird. Cove reached into the water and pulled out something small and brown. Was it a tiny stick? A clothespin? Cove looked at it with disbelief. He blinked slowly. Then he raised the clothespin with a mischievous look in his eye. I guess it's needed. How else would dolphins hang up their flippers? They gotta be stored somehow. My word. Oh, why are you like this? That was terribly on any scale. Please don't. You're adorable. I'm not sure that even counts as a pun. Love it. Chat, I'm gonna do this and hope he doesn't think that I said it. He blushed. He blushed, chat. He blushed. Cove reddened and pinched the clothespin open and closed as he looked away from you. You played around for the rest of the afternoon and kept chatting in between the waves. You thought about how you had surfed today. I will definitely state this, and I will probably state this. I will either put, definitely say... I will definitely state that I'm kind of it would be somewhere in between these two, chat, for me. I think for this, I'm definitely improving. I wouldn't say... I don't even know how to surf, so I would need to practice, but this universe, me, I would say we're doing good. A while ago, you would have been able to ride some of today's waves. You really were learning. What I miss, not a whole lot, just my character and Cove having a little fun banter in the waves / water. You kept this up, who knew how good you would be at the end of the summer. Cove gave you a lot of encouragement about your performance. What an afternoon. The setting sun was visible in the horizon. Every time you looked away, it had sunk a little lower. The beach was darkening, but still pleasantly warm. You knew you should get out of the water before it was completely dark in the sea. You rode one last wave to get back to the beach, where you picked your surfboard and gave it quick once over. Oh, that's fun, DJ. So yeah, I hope you have fun, DJ, on that. Anyways, continuing over on the story, Cove followed behind you to the shore. He put his board with his other things and grabbed his towel to start drying off. As he ruffled his hair with the towel, You watch the sunset together. The colors were beautiful and distant, and the shadows around you deepen. There were no needs for or words between you two as you both enjoy the sight of the moment. My beautiful boy! Cove broke the silence. The waves were good today, I think. Perfect for surfing. I don't need to read everything else. He nodded mildly. You're going to the mountains. Oh, that's cool. I hope you enjoy it on the 26th. Wait, hold on. I'm pretty sure the 26th is going to end up being the next stream, so... Oh, no. If not, then hey, Luna, you won't miss a stream. But, Luna, you go enjoy that trip when that happens. Anyways. You've gotten so good. You couldn't help but smile at the praise. Ah! It meant a lot coming from him. You chatted a little bit more until the conversation truly dried out. Yeah. And all you heard was the rhythmic sound of waves. Then Ko sighed. The day can't be over. Not yet. Cove, you're sounding like 8-year-old self again. He scowled into the distance. If the sun exit the sky was a professional offense. Okay, I will state this. I do want to go see Bad Guys 2. But as of now, I don't have any way of watching it unless someone I know in a theater is willing to give me an entry of getting in. Anyways, do you think it should be longer? Oh, that's nice, Luna. Anyways, I'm gonna repeat this, even if I said it or not. Don't you think it should be longer? Yeah, I was shopping this morning. Ko stood up straight in defiance and approaches of darkness. I'm not gonna go home yet. I want to go somewhere I don't know. Ko was still dripping in salt water, so you weren't sure what else alternative was. Wetsuits were fine for the beach, and not much else. It wasn't a good idea for him to lug his surfboard around either. You'll be real cute in the wetsuit wherever you go. Well, I need to call it night. Yeah, I wanted. Bad guys? Oh no. Wait. Oh my word. I look away from chat for 5 seconds and Luna Luna, I feel you sometimes, but oh my word. I know how it feels to I know how it feels when you misread something completely. Like, literally, I'm doing the story here where I misread so many times. But you know what? We're going to be basically quote-unquote flirting with Ko this entire life. He's blushing again. Ko's face and ears flush red as he looked down and inspected himself. He crossed his hand over his chest self-consciously. Was F1? Not really planned. More, maybe FNAF 2. Because my brother will drag my ass to go and see it. That's alright. For surely me, I'm going to go see it if someone's willing to get me there. Like, okay, I will state this. I will be the driver, just you have to pay for me to get in. That will probably be the cost. like be the one who buys it. What does XD mean? It's basically just a way of like laughing. It's an old emoticon too, and I use it occasionally. Um, so yeah. Anyways, where were we? He had been so used to wearing it that Cove hadn't got his current choice of dress anything through. At least that was before you pointed it out to him. But yeah, no, for me, I'm going to go see FNAF, and I will state this. I will be streaming FNAF. I don't know when, but I'm going to try and play every single game that I could here on stream. Like, so then we have a chance that we have streams of FNAF. So be prepared if a FNAF stream does say hello. Well, you would too, so Cove eyes widened when he processed what he just said, and awkwardly decided to give up the whole thing. Then he looked down the shore with his wide, shining eyes. Maybe, but I'm not. I won't confirm or deny anything. Fortnite maybe as well. I will state this: I'm not a huge fan. I don't mind current Fortnite, but back then me would have said there would probably not be Fortnite. So I wouldn't get your hopes up, as I already got a lot of games currently playing. This is one of them. So once this game is done, I'll be for surely adding a new game into rotation. Yeah, I got a lot of ideas as well. I've also got to worry about my personal life of stuff, like my FNAF roleplays, my FNAF Minecraft roleplay coming out. Hopefully, the goal. Okay, I'm gonna state this now. Where we're standing, it's looking like it will start sometime next year. So, basically, I will probably give you guys more information when we get closer and closer to it. Who knows? I might even make a watch party, or at least do something. But yeah, something along the lines. I've also been planning to do a NASCAR series, which I know Oddly would be down for. I might end up putting in a form which allows you guys to come up with some drivers. I will state this: I have been editing a lot of it, so it's not 100% accurate to what I'm gonna do originally. So yeah, if you want to join, and just let me know. Like, if you want a character or make a fictional character for your series, in the series, go for it. I will make a form, or try to make a form on that, and have it set up for y'all. Anyways, there's at least one place that was always okay. Let's go. That's me. Do you have sisters? I actually do. I have two older sisters. One's a half sister, one's a biological older sister. In real life, yes, I do have older siblings of sisters. Anyways, Cove, there's at least one place that always okay to hang out in, no matter what time it is. The park. You nodded. The park was virtually always empty, even Elizabeth only went over there nowadays if she was looking for you. How times have changed. She used to be so protective of the place. In fact, the only person there was a chance of running into might be that Jeremy kid again. You brought up the idea to Cove, and he cringed. But I'm still going. The sun is still here. Still here. A little. I'm staying out as long as it is. Tag along. Okay, let's go. Cove took a minute to his stuff in order. He made sure to get it all through. Didn't make much care to shake the sand off. You dealt with your own things. Jeremy kid. Jeremy, it's the kid with the bowl cut. Honestly, I'm this. I'm done, Cove. He rolled his eyes with a bent smile at the announcement. He led the way down to the beach, into the park. It wasn't far, so it didn't take you too long at all. The sun still hadn't completely disappeared just yet, and you made your arrival. Cove stuck his surfboard upright in the sand and tossed his towel over top. Oh no, not Jeremy. Yeah, not Jeremy. I don't think he's here. By now, the two of you were mostly dry. The summer breeze on your skin kept you pleasantly warm. Cove idly went over to the monkey bars. He grabbed them, feet flat on the ground, and pretended to go across. He had definitely grown in the past few years. You could barely use the monkey bars yourself. There wasn't much space at all between you and the ground. When he got to a bar in the middle, Cove couldn't pulled himself up through and sat on top of the bars. His legs dangled from the side of the bar he perched on. I joined him on the monkey bars. Why not? I don't think Jeremy's here as well, chat, so woo! Without Cove height advantage getting up there, it was more difficult, but you made it. You climbed on the side of the monkey bars and pulled yourself up to the top. Let's go. You settled yourself between the two slates. The slinky metal wasn't the most comfortable thing to sit on, though you enjoyed the height gives you. Guess what? He smiled broadly and raised an eyebrow. He's not here. Right, it was true. There wasn't a single sign of Jeremy. Looks like it was just going to be you, the two of you tonight. I have a feeling that Jeremy would be there. I will have my brother subscribe. Oh, you don't have to. You don't have to have him subscribe. It's completely fine. I don't mind working my way from small to big. I love to do the grind. Even if it's not something. Well, don't jinx it. Well, right now it's looking like it's us too, so I think we're safe. Cove hanged his head and growled dramatically. Your eyes widened when he whipped his head back up.
No way.
I can't believe how dumb my parents are for forcing me to come to this stupid place. You were taken aback and Blake for a second before you realized he was quoting Jeremy. I always jinx things, DJ. That is true. Cove, really? Cove, really? You had to do that? You had to pull that move and started quoting Jeremy. Honestly, Jeremy mentioned again. I will state this. Jeremy was a jerk and my character would have punched him in the face. My parents don't know anything. Cove chuckled back at you, amused. Okay, I will state this. As long as I get respect from you, if you give me respect, I'll give you respect back. That's kind of what it is. You looked around the old park, the street you knew like the back of your hand, and the beach. These were your stomping grounds. Punch that bull right off his massive point. I will do that next time I see him. You wondered how Cove actually felt. How much was his joke just a joke? and how much was sincere dislike of this place. Moving haven't moving had never been his choice. I will state this. I will state this. You you do you actually like this neighborhood? Not the soft look to the eyes. Do you really have to ask that, Don? Cove kicked his legs carelessly as they dangled. He smiled softly. I like it here. I really do. It's a nice place. He didn't hesitate. There was no uncertainty. That was his genuine opinion. I could so pick this one up right here. Well, of course, I'm here after all. Honestly, I need to give Cove the whole thing. You're the best thing in the neighborhood, Cove. I got him to flush. I got him to blush. Oh my god. Cove flushed and started kicking his legs wildly, like he was running in place. Cove is too wholesome for this world. Like, it didn't take long for the day to finally draw to a close. The sun was gone, and it was dark. You chatted a while longer, but it was definitely winding down. Um, probably say we better get home. Already? Oh, I'm sorry, Go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my baby. He seemed just to notice how dark it was. It was hard to make out his exact expression with his face. With his face in shadow. I guess I lost track of time. Ko sighed. It was time to go home. He hopped down from the monkey parts with a thump with his feet in the ground. You crawled down the monkey bars yourself. You lowered yourself more slowly than Cove and barely made a sound when your feet reached the ground. Cove grabbed his surfboard and threw his towel around his neck. With his water bottle in hand, he was ready. You both began to trek up the road. It was quiet night. You didn't run into anyone else. In that felt like no time at all, and you reached your street. As you walked, Ko smiled to himself. It was soft expression, and you couldn't help but wonder what put it there. Ko? I just remembered when we were young. I used to be such a big deal. It used to be such a big deal to come home after dark. You could indeed recall. If you got sandy, your parents would have said something. If you got wet, your parents would have more to say. Damn, yep, nope. And if you came after dark, well, your mom and his dad better have said it was okay beforehand. Yep. You used to need permission for everything. That small comment he made exposed just how much freedom you already had this summer. Cove looked up to the sky and smiled. A smile still on his face as the two of you walked side by side, reminiscing. When you came to your house, you turned to each other. Thanks for today, Don. Thanks for the awesome day. Cove waved, and you both turned around to your respective houses. This was a pleasant end to the outing, you thought. And there was wave chat. That was the wave story. We officially completed it. Yay. And Cove, you're such a sweetheart, but why? Anyways, let's move on over to growing. Early one afternoon, you found yourself in the living room with your family. It was another one of those summer days where it felt too hot to go outside, but it was too uncomfortable to do anything inside either. Oh, I hate those days. The air conditioner was cranked up as far as you could negotiate it, but everyone was still being pretty lazy. You, your moms, and sister were lounging around while the TV blared on in the backdrop, ignored by all of you. You specifically were lying spread eagle on the carpet, sitting cross-legged on the floor, perched on the arm of the couch, or draped over the coffee table. I will state this, I've currently been doing it recently, perching on the arm of the couch. Elizabeth had claimed the entire couch for herself. It was too hot to argue over the space, so you didn't bother. Elizabeth broke the silence with a loud groan. You glanced over. She was lying on her back over the couch, massaging her calf with one hand. Ugh. I feel terrible. I'm dying in this house, and my legs hurt. Like, oh my gosh, shut up. Mom looked up from the magazine she'd briefly been flipping through, and frowned concerned. Could you have straightened them somehow? You could have strained them somehow. Bliss failed briefly, then flopped onto her side with a heavy sigh. I don't know. It just hurts.
Sweetie.
Oh, sweetheart. Ma got up from her seat at the kitchen table and walked over to your sister. She did a light pat on Elizabeth's shoulders sympathetically. I'm sorry you have to deal with that. Maybe it's growing pains. You could be taller by next fall. Elizabeth scoffed. She didn't look impressed by Mom's amusement. Oh, growing pains are one of the worst things, but it's like, you know you're gonna get taller at that point. I'd rather be my height forever than deal with this. Great acting. I know, thank you. Potential voice actor coming in the line. Mom walked over, leaning against the back of the couch. Kids, they grow up so fast. Soon Elizabeth will have a home with her own, maybe even with a nice husband and some kids if she feels like it. She sniffled loudly and wiped her eyes, but you couldn't tell that it was just a bit. You tilt your head even though you knew Elizabeth liked guys. It was hard to imagine her with a boyfriend or a husband. Damn! She only seemed invested in hanging out with her group of friends, not chasing after boys. Ma must agree with you because she shook her head.
Now.
Let's not exaggerate. She's still practically a child. But if you ever do pursue romance, Elizabeth, you can come talk to me about it. Definitely. We're always willing to lend an ear. Elizabeth's features controlled in disgust. Oh no.
No.
No way. I'm not talking to my moms about that. Mom's jaw dropped. She gasped in exaggerated display of shock. Her hand came to rest her is. Ma grinned. She didn't look offended by Elizabeth's quick response at all. It's really wouldn't be so bad to come to us. I know that it's like having a crush on a pretty boy or two. Oh yeah, she is bisexual. I keep forgetting. Moms are bisexual. I don't, but I can listen anyways. Yeah, like I don't get why, like little, like see, it works. I love my moms in this universe. Mom snorted at her own joke while Elizabeth, Ma burst into a giggle. Oh, excuse me. Jeez. Why am I yawning? They were having a little too much fun at Elizabeth's expense. Elizabeth currently wasn't feeling the amusement because she rolled her eyes and sat up.
Thanks.
I'm going to my room. I'd rather melt alone. Thanks. She strolled off towards the staircase, taking the step two at a time. Your mom stared after her, then turned to each other and raised an eyebrow. Whoops. Looks like we scared her off with all that romance talk.
Well,
We'll get her next time. You watch them Twitter with some surprise. Obviously, your mom's like woman, but you had no idea mom liked guys too. Today was the first time you heard her say something like that. Oh, so yeah, no. Don't act like her. It's gonna happen, unfortunately. I know it, because they all, like, especially from me, there's gonna be times where kids are not gonna be fond of their parents. Anyways, Ma, you like guys and girls? Ma turned to you, happy to bring you into things now that you've spoken up. She smiled and nodded. Teens are like that. Yep. That's right. I like both. But your mom but I like your mom most out of everyone. She's special. Ma's smile turned all soft in the corners. It was usually when she did. When she looked at her. She pinched Mom's cheek lightly. Being through it, it's not for. Yeah, no, being through it, it's not fun. Mom reached up to cup a hand over Ma, even when Ma stopped fooling her cheek. Her hand remained clasped together.
you're fantastic.
Thanks, Leanne. I think most women have charm, but no one holds a candle to you.
Aww.
Aw, Pamela. This is getting a little awkward. Ma being the kiss Mom on the cheek. She's been hitching before. Yeah, no. This for me it feels cringe. But I would say that it's a sweet moment. You slouched down as if that would hide you from sight. Why were your parents like that? I don't really know. Take his say Dylan. Okay, I will state this. So yeah, we'll come back to the story. Sorry, Luda. NASCAR talk here. I really will state this. Oddly, I really hope that Ty Dillon wins it. It would be so freaking hilarious that the number 32 seed won it. Like, okay, I will be real. I really thought it was Chase Elliott's chance of winning after Larson lost, but then he lost his round. So I'm really hoping it's Ty Dillon because I really want the underdog to win here. Anyways, back to the main story. You slouched down as if that would hide you from sight. Annie, why were your parents like that? Ma looked back at you, letting Mom's hand go. With a brief squeeze, she settled down next to you, and Mom followed soon after. You know, I'm also here to listen to whenever you're ready. That offer isn't just for Elizabeth. Ugh, yeah, that does suck. But it would be funny just to say Ty Dillon won it. Anyways. In fact, I think that talk might be needed sooner for you. After all, you already have someone, isn't that right? Mom shook her head and elbow, Ma. But it was futile. Lander. Honestly, I would blush furiously and say I don't have someone. It's just a blush. I'll do the blushing deal. Ma only giggled and smiled, not looking the least bit apologetic. Thanks. There's no rush, of course. You can take all the time you need to figure out what or who you want.
It's okay.
Don't think you would have to stick with whatever you come up with right now. Either life's nice like that. It can change, and you can learn. Mom nodded her agreement. The two of us are happy to hear you out. We may be able to relate better than you think. Still, we won't push the topic, at least most of the time. She gave Ma the weakest scathing look possible, while being unable to stop grinning. Nod silently. I'm not gonna speak because you weren't sure what to say to that. Mom let out another engaging sniffle. It didn't take a genius to realize it was fake. First Elizabeth, and now you, Don. Do you have to grow up? Yes, children tend to do that from time to time. Oh jeez, I hit something on my desk. Didn't break, but your parents quickly grew absorbed in their conversation about rearing children. You took that as your cue to leave gang up so you could spend some time alone in your room too. They let you go without a problem. So you made your way up the stairs. Into my nice room. You let out a sigh. Once you stepped into your room, it was just sweltering in there as it was in the living room. Probably just a little warmer. I mean, yeah. You couldn't even open your windows since it was hot outside, and you would just let the AC out. You drug your feet across the room. You check your current sweltering condition in the mirror as you pass by it. You thought after the conversation you had back downstairs about growing up and all that. After a moment, you spent a bit closer to the mirror. You stared into it, then turned away from the surface to look. Hold on, chat. Sorry, chat. Someone was getting my attention. Anyways, after the moment, you stepped a bit closer into the mirror. You stared into it, then turned away from the surface to look down at yourself. You're definitely growing up, alright. It was weird thinking about how you were now in comparison to what you'd be when you're younger. It came to your body. When it came to your body, it. Okay, I will say this. This is an alternate universe to me. I'm since this is like an alternate universe, and it's also up to you how you want to play this game too. Since especially since the last story we did waves, I will definitely say this. The very first one. You shifted to side, your head still facing towards and continuing the self-involvement from this viewpoint. I love how this is kind of like the thing is your birth were a sign. Obviously, I was birth assigned as a male, and wait, hold on. That we'll do that, and and it was just the way it was for you. I had to double check. You took a step backwards, finished with your impromptu impression. You locked eyes with your reflection, crooking your head and to the side, all things considered. I'll do that, just so we can move on. You beam, pleased with what you saw. You even winked a good measure before chuckling at yourself. You shook your head through, roughly putting thought of what you were turning into. You don't mind. This wasn't the time to focus on such thing. You had to find something to do in this heat. You scuffled over your bed, collapsing onto the mattress, your brow scrunched up thoroughly. Time passed slowly, and you and your annoyance, possible ideas about what to do were a few and far between. You weren't sure how long it's been, but eventually you hear your mom's called you downstairs. Dawn, there's a call for you. Cove wants to come over. Is that all right? You perked up at the words. Sitting in your bed, you yelled back at her immediately. Yeah. Yep, nope, I'm a hopeless romantic. You got to your feet and headed downstairs, eager to see your friend. You needed to go downstairs soon anyways, because your empty stomach told you it was almost time for lunch. Just as you reached the bottom stairs, you saw Mom put the phone back on the receiver. She glanced at Ma, leaning her hip against the kitchen counter.
What a pickle.
Well, here comes trouble, because we better prepare ourselves. Ma clicked her tongue in clear disapproval with Mom's word. He's such a good boy. Cove never wants to cause trouble. He can just be a bit thoroughless and impulsive. They're talking about my future boyfriend. I can't believe my chat's doing that. My parents can't. I can't believe my parents are doing that to me. Out of everybody, my parents are doing that towards me? Ouch. Oh, I know. He's very sweet. But that's what makes him more of a problem. If a stranger of some kid from school was egging Don on to behave badly, I think we can both agree he'd do the right thing in the end. But if Cove Holland got into a reckless mood and wanted Don to be part of the ride, we can't be certain what call he make them. Then,
Yes.
yes, I think so. Don helped Cove settle down and would have gotten himself in even more trouble without him.
Thanks.
You have a point. Ma just laughed as she turned away, still snoring. Her eyes met yours. She blinked in surprise, then waved at you with an easy grin. Ma looked over, noticed you at the foot of the stairs as well.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't expect you to come down already. Don, I just wanted to let you know what was happening. I'll pretend I never heard. It's okay. I just got here. From the way Mom and Ma exchanged an amused glance, you had got the feeling that they didn't believe you. Thankfully, they didn't correctly accuse you for lying. Sure. Well, we'll just get out of the way You go take care. You couldn't help but flush when Ma winked. Mom elbowed her even as if a smile tug appeared her lips. Honestly, this lady. I love the mom character that's always over here. Your moms whispered amongst themselves as they went down the hall. Eventually, you hear a faint sound of their bedroom door shutting. You were alone in the living room, tasked with waiting for Cove. And that was just fine with you. If you hadn't been so hot outside, you would have visited him at his house a long time ago. You took a seat at the kitchen counter and settled in for a wait. As expected, there was a knock on the door a few minutes later. When you got up to answer it, your neighbor was standing on the other side. He came in once you stepped aside, let him pass. Gave him a little wave. You greeted him as you typically did. It's a wave, it's a low five, nudge shoulder. It's a noogie. Hug. No. Oh, I got into blush again, chat. He stiffened in your arm, then relaxed seconds after. Once you would think he used to your... When one would think he'd be used to your hugs after all these years. Hey. His voice has cracked as he struggled to say something. You didn't feel worried about it. It was how he usually reacted when you were close by. Cove sighed and wiped his face a bit. You noted the sheen of sweat across his brow. He must be glad to be back in the air-conditioned place, even if he only walked across the street to get there. Yeah, no. He had to walk across the street. It must be obvious that you were confused by his visit because he answered your unspoken question. I don't want to do anything. Not when I'm like this. He gestured vaguely to the humid air hanging around.
So,
I thought I could at least do nothing with you. I thought that's really sweet, honestly. Aw. His words were nice, and expressions real fondness of you in strange sort of way, which was usually the case with Cove. have you had lunch yet? I was going to do it soon. He shook his head.
Not really.
I haven't really. I felt like eating because of the heat. I probably should have lunch. I didn't even make breakfast. Okay, that's fair. I don't eat breakfast a lot. Yeah, I get that sometimes. You should eat properly. You didn't eat at all? Yeah. I'm a this. This is me. You didn't eat at all? Then we gotta have something now. You urged Cove in the direction of the kitchen. He stumbled after you. Okay. As one, you headed into the kitchen. You crossed your arms as you glanced around. Wondering what you should scrounge up for a meal. I don't want to eat anything that's warmed up. Is there something cold or not cooked? Yeah. After a bit of back and forth, the two of you considered that you should raid the fridge and cabinets in order to make sandwiches. Yay! With that settled, you can plan to decide on the outside layers first. Then waves vary to choose from, since everyone in your house had their own favorites. There was white bread, wheat bread, sourdough, mixed grain, gluten-free bread, and picked pockets. Could you grab the grain one for me? Sure. You reach for the mixed grain, then made your decision. I'm a white bread boy. You pulled out the white bread too, settling both items onto the counter. Then you had to decide what the main direction the sandwich will go in. I want to make it truly savory. Like, every time I take a bite, I want it to melt in my mouth almost. Something savory would make it feel like a real meal. As for special ingredients, let's see. Ham. We'll add lettuce, tomatoes, cheddar, and I think maybe mozzarella. I don't normally put 2 cheeses on a sandwich, but hey, this is mine. Then I move to the condiments. For the finishing touch, you intended to top the sandwich with mayonnaise. And that's pretty much everything. You nodded yourself with a quiet hum, satisfied. I just hit my steering wheel. The two of you bustled around the kitchen, opening and closing things in order to collect everything you need for your individual sandwiches. You were forced intently on assembling your own for the most part. When you got close to being done, though, you glance over at your neighbor. Mayo gang, yes, Mayo gang! Cove put his sandwich together delectably, his brow furrowed and tongue sticking out just barely. There were open jars of peanut butter, and honestly, near his plate as well, a banana peel. So he was making a peanut butter, banana, and honey sandwich on mixed grain bread. That sounded great. I know people eat stuff like that, so yeah, no. Maybe you had one yourself a different time. Curiosity stinkt. You turned back to your plate and finished your own creation. By the time you were done, Cove had already cleaned up his workstation. He turned to face you, studying your sandwich briefly. A small smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. You guess it didn't look inedible for him, at least. Done? Yeah,
Cool.
cool. He waited as you as you quickly returned the ingredients and cleaned a few utensils. Then the two of you collect your respective plates. You both agree to head upstairs, hanging out in your room. We're eating in my room, chat. You and Cove entered your room while balancing your food on the plate. Nothing felt nothing fell, so it was a successful trip. Cove took a seat on the ground, stretching out on the hard wood floor, in an attempt to keep a bit cooler. He immediately took a big bite of his sandwich, chewed, then hummed happily. This sandwich is really good. At least, that's something. At this point, you sat down and started on your own sandwich. You're not enjoying yours, you shrug. Yeah, we'll nod. Obviously, you were a pro at making sandwiches. He leaned back on his hands while chewing again, glancing around. His every movement sluggish. Want to do something? It seemed the plan of doing anything at all had really worn it thin, despite his lack of enthusiasm. Like what? He rolled his head back, looking up at the ceiling. What about Hangman? I just hit my steering wheel. Sure, why not? You pulled out a paper to the side and pulled out some markers and scrap paper. As you laid everything on the floor, he scooted back to make more room in front of you. Cove picked up the markers with his hand while keeping half a slice of the sandwich in his left.
That's,
Can I pick the phrase? If you want to. He smiled. Anyways, he smiled briefly before he bent over the paper and began sketching the hangman frame. Then he stopped, pursuing his lips. Cheers. I'm sorry, Chad. I don't know why I'm so tired. It's probably still from the drive of going to Utah. Pursuing his lips in through, he tapped the end of his marker against his cheek. You watched silently as Cove looked up and down at the paper, at your face, and then off the side of the loop. His marker kept tapping his cheek the entire time. You raised an eyebrow. He suggested the game and wanted to pick the phrase, but it looked like he didn't actually have anything in mind for it. Finally, he put empty lines on the paper, signifying spots for letters. All right, you can start guessing first. Okay. Chat, I want your guys' opinion on what you think the word's gonna be. What do you think this phrase is going to become, chat? I'm genuinely curious. 3, 3, and 4. So chat, I will need your help on this one. You peered over his secret phrase consisting of 3 words. The first 2 had 3 letters, and the last had 4. I don't know, good luck. You thought hard about your first guess would be. Okay, someone give me a letter of the alphabet. Someone give me an letter of the alphabet. I think I know what it is, but I want you guys to work this one out. I think I got it, but I'm going to wait for it. Someone give me a letter. E. Okay, we get E. Okay, there is E's. You got one. Someone get the next letter ready and I'll be prepared for it. After the first round, you were about to take another bite of your sandwich when a thought occurred to you. I wonder if anyone turned off the TV downstairs. Oh, we might not need that letter, chat. Hold on. Just keep that letter ready. The TV was on earlier, but no one was really watching it. Then everyone started leaving the living room. I don't... Okay, so we'll have... I will be next, but give me a second. I don't think... I know I didn't turn it off. It might still be on downstairs. No one else is there. Ko smiled quickly at that. Poor show, playing with no one around to enjoy it. What was it? Skirmish off the middle of this. I'm trying to recall the show's name. I feel like it was some kind of crime-solving drama. Cove nodded deeply, his eyes closed, then opened again, with some effort. Can you give me any specifics? Maybe I can guess it. Well, you rest your chin on your open palm, groggy thinking, as hard as you could. I remember there was a woman with a long blonde hair. I think she was one solving crimes like a detective or something. There were some scenes in a police station because someone got arrested. You lapsed into silence. The both of you thoughtful. Then Coach, it wasn't fun. It wasn't that funny, but you joined in the laughter anyways.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is. Me neither. And I was just solid. Okay. So we got I. Is there an I? Nope. Sorry. I'm not going to add the little person. There was no I, chat. There's no I. Someone get another letter ready and we'll be using that one. A round came and went, and Ko grumbled as he readjusted himself, as his features were twisted in a grimace. I feel so sticky. Ugh, I'm going to be stuck on this floor forever now. I'll then have to charge your rent. You can be my new roomie if you want. Looks like we'll be both stuck here. No way, I'll peel you off. You could be my new roomie. A. Okay, we got A's next. He smiled slightly at your joking suggestion. That wouldn't be so bad. You couldn't help but smile, too. Now that you thought about it, being roommates with Ko would be fun. Then you returned to the game, and we got A. There is an A. Good guess. So there is an A. So you guys got to see it. So we have basically blank word, A, blank E, and then blanks with E at the end. Ko spoke up once more, catching your attention as he's peering down at the piece of paper between you. His expression thoughtful. You know, Hangman is... The second word is definitely R. So do R. Okay, we'll do R next. You know, Hangman's kind of a creepy game. Why do people come up with it? Why do they play it? We'll do this first one. Ko raised his spectacled brow, but a bit back, fatigue and seriously. I feel like it might be you are cute. I mean, we can find out, but we're gonna have to do one line at a time. So we're doing R for Shirley next. But if you got it wrong, they killed you. He shuddered at your eerie expression, rejecting it outright. That's a good guess. Well, yeah, that could be the answer. If we're thinking R is the second word, then yeah, it could be it. He shuddered at your eerie expression before rejecting it outright.
No way.
That's terrible. It's not real. You chuckled to yourself and went back to the creepy game. So we're doing R. So here we go. Okay. So far we are correct. There is an R, and the second word is R. So it's up to you guys if you think that the phrase could be "you are cute," or could this be just throwing you off? So we'll do you next. By this point, Cove has finished his sandwich. Yours was almost gone too, but now you were getting thirsty. You brought it up to your neighbor. Should we go back downstairs to get some drinks? This confirms or denies. Yeah, I guess that is true. I was thinking that too, but I don't really want to get up. Me neither. You looked over at him, narrowing his eyes with a false suspicion. But hey, what happens to not being able to get up ever again because you're stuck to the floor? That's still true. I mean, we're not actually going, are we? I'm only thought about it. You rolled your eyes and dropped the issue. Deflate Cove showed grin a little at your disappointment over his victory. So we're going with you. Oddly says this will confirm or deny the entry, and it is. Oh. I don't know what this will solve. Deflates. That's another one. Okay. It's definitely that. Okay. What letter? It's gonna be. Just say a letter and I'll put it in. Put a letter in that phrase and I'll slowly put it in. I don't know if the ooh is you saying ooh or you saying oh. Y. Okay, so we'll do Y. You're really close. Another letter. I'm letting you guys solve this one because I know it. If you're so confident, just start putting it in the letter. What if you wrote the entire message? I don't know. It says enter one letter of the alphabet. So do you want me to just slowly work on just putting it in of your guys' what you think it is? Because I'm down. So yeah. So O. Yeah. C. Definitely gonna get it. C. There you guys go. Yep, I will state this. I knew it was you are cute. It's not like I played this game. You are cute. That was the phrase. COVID's been so long settling on. He stared at it. A few correct letters in. You had a feeling you knew what the phrase was. Still, you felt butterflies in your stomach at seeing it, clear as day on a paper. You took in the words a moment longer, then you looked up at Cove. He's blushing! He's blushing, Chad! And yes, Little, you got it right. He had trouble meeting your shocked gaze, a smile settling awkwardly on his lips. His next word left him in a mumble. It was all I could think of at the time. I'm gonna be trying to cover my flush. Suddenly you had trouble. Suddenly you had trouble meeting his eyes too. Your hands came up to hide your flush features for his sight. I was just guessing. Well, you got it right, Luda. Be proud of that. Honestly, when I get all flustered, I don't say anything. Cove smiled a bit more, clearly still feeling awkward about the move he pulled. He turned away to you, his cheek tinted pink. A moment passed between the two of you. Now would be a perfect time to change the subject. But you didn't. He didn't either. Things started to feel a bit more personal all of a sudden. You looked into Ko's ocean eyes and saw yourself staring back. I really think you're cute, seriously. What do you mean you think I'm cute? Did you mean it? Same. Honestly, I'm gonna do the whole, do you mean it? Do you really think I'm cute? Cove didn't crack a smile or tell you he was joking. He just firmly kept his gaze. Yeah. He finally broke the eye contact. I heard at some point you're supposed to start liking types of people, guys or girls or whomever.
I don't know.
I haven't really noticed that yet. Nothing changed. Not in a big way. Not for everybody. Maybe I have to grow up more. But at least with... You waited, but he trailed off. He wasn't going to keep talking. You glanced down. You were so close to hearing what he had to say. You shook off this strangeness of the situation and tried to be supportive. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just don't like anyone. Or maybe you like all type of people. That's normal too. Yes, no, Luna, that's an ah moment. Cove seemed to imply that though if the smile that appeared on his lips was any indication. But the expression was quick to disappear. He peeled over at you, looking nervous. Okay, what about you? What kind of guy or person do you like? He winced at seeming to be mentally kicking himself for saying it like that. Aww. You considered his question carefully. Did you know who or what you want? What you like? You were starting to have physical affections in a gentle way. You only seem to have... Honestly, we gotta do this one. Anya. But specifically, when it came to how you felt towards boys, yeah, my bisexual ass is gonna kick me right here if I don't pick this one. And you felt towards girls? Honestly, this is kind of the situation currently. A non-binary view? Oh yeah, no, I can find them attractive. You return to your attention to Cove. He was waiting patiently for you, for your friend. Awkward teenager. I don't want to talk about it. He nodded. He didn't want to press the issue. Still, you got the feeling he was kind of disappointed in not finding out. But he scratched the back of his head sheepishly. I'm not sure how we ended up talking about all this when we started out just playing hangman. But it was good, I think. I think so too. We're two very gay. We're both very gay for each other. Cove chuckled a little bashfully. He chuckled. He glanced around, carefully scrambling for something to say else to say. So, have you gotten any progress on your artwork recently? I have. The conversation took a lighter turn after that. It felt like you got closer that afternoon. Finally, the blazing sun began to set. To your relief, the air conditioner cooled down a bit as a result. You pulled yourself off the floor, as Cove did too. Some minor complaints. You both stretched your arms, groaning and yawning into your hand. You glance over your window briefly, taking in the soft reds, pinks, and purples of the late afternoon sky. Somehow, you have made it through the scorching hot day in one piece. Cove turns towards you, motioning you towards the window with his chin. Wanna go outside? It might be better out there than it is here now. Sure. The two of you took your time heading downstairs. You stopped briefly to grab a drink of water, then continued on your way. You step outside, one after the other, your decision being a familiar hill behind your house. Oh my gosh, we're back to where we first met. This time to play, it was quite quiet outside. The flowers blew gently in the wind, petals trembling but stubbornly hang in the air. You felt the breeze cool your heated skin. You relaxed your shoulders. Cove closed his eyes, releasing a deep breath. I really love it out here. Welcome back, DJ. No worries, DJ. It's completely fine if you dip and then come back. I do too. That's surprising. You missed a hangman puzzle from this game. You know what? I'm gonna jab at him. Your opinion sure has changed since you were first on this hill. They're at where they met as kids. Yes, after a long hot day, basically. Cove chuckled, not even attempting to deny your words. A beat passed, but his gaze didn't stray from your own. His voice was impossibly soft when he spoke up again. I'm glad I met you, Don. You're really important to me, you know? You're special to me too, Cove. Oh, nice. Yes. Your voice came out equally deflected from the way his features brightened through you. You knew he heard you. When Cove reached out and held your hand, Chad, he's holding my hand. Chad, he's holding my hand. Even as the sun disappeared completely and the sky darkened, you and Cove remained side by side. Jeez, why am I tired? Side by side as long as you possibly could. Adorable. Yep, and that was growing. I know, okay, if I remember correctly, I know how Families is gonna end, and it's gonna be so sad. I'm gonna let you know now. And, oh, this is the Derek DLC, which we will focus on this bit on a later date. So keep that in mind that Derek's stories will happen later, because I'll basically speed run it kind of back to here. So I'm gonna leave it where I will have to go back and do a lot of things to get up to the point, so we can do Derek's story, because we're gonna be not doing any of Derek's stories after this, because we'll focus on Derek after we focus on Cove first. But yeah, to the family. This one I feel like it's gonna hurt the most for people, especially when I played it the first time. Anyways, here we go. The sun warmed your skin from its place in the sky, and you closed your eyes, enjoying the mix of the heat and pleasant breeze that drifted past you. You and Lee had spread out a blanket on top of one of the hills behind your house, and has been relaxing for a while now. We got Lee! Lee's joined us, chat! Lee had come over earlier in the day, and while a range of activities had been discreet, from staying home to stay down onto the beach, a picnic on the hill had been the choice you both settled on. A small spread was laid in front of you, some bottle of water, soft drinks, as well as chips and sliced fruit. You sat up, reaching for a snack, listening to Lee talk away about the musical she has gone to see a few days ago. She's a theater kid, oh my gosh. And here's Lee in the flesh. It was unbelievable. There was singing, dancing, and crazy stunts, and it was all done live right in front of my face. Maybe one day we can go together. I've gotta see more shows like that. You smiled at Lee, enthusiastic, knowing how much she enjoys singing and performing. Yeah, she's a theater kid. If I've ever met a theater kid, she is a theater kid. She was good at it too. You have gotten the chance to hear her sing a couple of tunes, and you knew she pulled a lot of effort into it. You also like singing, but you weren't very good. You like singing and had talent of your own. You didn't like singing, but you were good at it. You weren't good at singing, and that's fine. I will state this. I do like to sing, and I will confirm more. There might be a chance where I might do a cover of songs. I'm not going to guarantee when or what songs are going to be sung, but I will be doing some covers of some songs. So keep your eyes out on those videos. It was nice the two of you could share that interest. I wonder if maybe I could put if we could put our own show. Think how fun it would be. We could perform for our parents and ask our friends and some other people to come and to watch too. It'd totally work. Sure, I'll give it a go. Really? Okay, that's good to know. Oddly. Anyways, it was something you had really thought before, but if Lee wanted to do it, then you could at least give it a shot. Dang, nice. Which I have to mention. Dang. Lee clapped in excitement and bounced on the balls of her feet, beyond happy that you were on board with her idea. And make it sound, dang, that's awesome, Oddly. I'm going to sing. Do you want to, or maybe something else? I would like to sing too. Cool. We'll, we'll perform an incredible duet. This is there anything else you like, else coming to your head? Um, Honestly, I will state this, dancing. Okay, we could pick an upbeat song. That's that's why it'll be easy. It'll be easy for you to move. Is there anything else that's coming to your head? Let's take a look. Cause I feel like there will be something else. I'll play an instrument. Oh yeah, I could play guitar or flute. I'll pick guitar, cause that's just an instrument that I can do for an upbeat song. And I keep hitting stuff on my desk. My word, and that would be perfect. I think that's all makes amazing show. We've got things pretty covered. The two of you ran back in your house and grabbed supplies you needed. Dodged your mom's amusement question before heading back out to the blanket to get started. Dang. Hi mom, bye mom kind of attitude. You settle down with your guitar sitting in your lap. Lee and you discuss the plans on details, settling on a song first and then practice out. Oh my word. Practicing out parts of the show. The afternoon quickly passed quickly. The sun dropping lower and lower in the sky, and after having thoroughly worked out how the show was going to go, you decided to take a break. Excuse me. Dun. Oh, you know, we should invite Kel to watch us participate in our show. He could tell us if it's bad before we put on the real thing. Oh, who? Are you talking about who the character is here, DJ? Who's that? That's Lee and supposed to be the main character's cousin. That's smart. We should ask him to watch us later. Yeah, it's Lee. Okay. Is it too bad Derek isn't in the neighborhood today? I like him. Lee, do you have a crush on Derek? He's a good person. I knew you think so. But speaking of boys, what's the relationship status between you and Co? Is it good? You blush saying nothing. Oh, you're bright red. I guess it's very good. Damn. But really, what are you gonna tell him? You have a crush on him. Anytime soon or what? They stole money. I don't have a crush on Cove. I'll tell him soon. No way, I'm not telling him. I'm perfectly sure he already knows. You weren't sure if you wanted to tell Cove or not. My character's in denial. Denial's a river. She couldn't even try to contain her laugh. I've seen the way you looked at him. Everybody has. Hearts are practically flying around your head when you're together. Lee waggled her eyebrows and laughed while you huffed at her. Don't worry, Don. He totally feels the same way. I guarantee it. Most people call me DJ. And that's fair. I will state this, DJ. My first name and middle name have the abbreviation of DJ. So, by technicality, yes, I also have DJ. But I go by Don most of the time. You didn't want to continue this at all, so you kept your mouth shut. The two of you talked a little more about Cove against other topics. and you found it was nice having someone to speak about these sort of things. Finally, you both decided to pack up everything and head back home for the evening. Lee talked excitedly about the show, as you did, and you thought back on what you had already accomplished for it. Don't believe it. DJ Cal. Hey, everyone has a different way of getting their nicknames. Anyways, you couldn't. You could definitely do with a little more practice, but what you had so far was solid foundation in performance. Oh, oh no, chat, help! I might be in trouble. Upon walking through the door, you were met by your moms and Elizabeth hovering around each other in the living room. Tensions hung thick in the air as the three of them turned to you, and Lee frowned slightly. You had interrupted something, especially what you weren't sure of. Not sure. What's going on? That's not good. Yeah, no, that's not good at all. Your moms looked at each other, wondering which one of them was going to speak first. Eventually, Mom cleared her throat and spoke.
Oh.
We were just having a talk with your sister. The room felt quiet again. With no one quite knowing what to say, you felt incredibly awkward, but the silence didn't last long. I don't have to stop just 'cause those two were here. There's no reason to try and keep it a secret. Damn. Elizabeth was mad at her arms, with her arms folded again defensively over her chest, but your mom's not in agreement with her.
Well...
Elizabeth was asking about her parents, her biological ones. The world spun around you at the news. You couldn't understand why this was happening now. When you glanced at Lee, she shuffled her feet uncomfortably, as though she didn't know if she should be there or not anymore. You didn't know either. Your moms had always been open and honest about the fact that neither of them gave birth to you or your sister, but the details haven't been fully explained before. It made sense that Elizabeth didn't know a lot of her biological parents and wanted to know more. You just had never thought you accidentally stumble into it. Elizabeth looked at your parents expressionally. She wasn't going to let the intentional interruption derail things. We know what to keep that information. What did I miss? Nothing too big, just me potentially being in trouble, but now not. Someone in chat could catch Luna up. We didn't want to keep that information from either of you. It was right to know your past, but we didn't want to wait until you've asked us to hear it yourselves. No worries, Luna. If Oddly or DJ wants to explain what's been going on currently right here, well, it's happening now, so... Your mom shared a nervous glance at Ma, and Ma took a quick breath before speaking again. I adopted you from the Philippines when you were just a baby. Elizabeth dropped her arms, her eyebrows shooting upwards in surprise. Wait, I was born I wasn't born here.
No.
No, you weren't. You clearly see that your sister was appalled by this information. You struggled even more with what to do or how to react. I'm I'm I am going to have to pass some tests to even be a citizen.
No.
No, you were adopted into the country. We took care of things. We took care of things. You're already a citizen. You don't have to worry about. You have nothing to worry about. I followed the law when it came to bringing a child to the U.S. Nothing can be held against you. Elizabeth sighed, but pathetic with the information of this, but this still far from happy. Who were my parents? As people, why did they put me up for adoption in the first place? Ma softly put her hand over Elizabeth's shoulder, trying to provide some support before she gave her the answer.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, sweetie. Your parents were reported to have died. They didn't go into details on specifics on how, but you were an orphan. I wish we had better news for you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth was torn between emotion. Her eyes filled with tears as she threw her hands in the air, settling on enraged. Great! So I can't never meet them? Even if I wanted to? Not that I could have anyway, since they lived in another part of the world when they were still alive. Oh my word. Chat. This is a sad part, chat. This is kind of what I expected for sad parts. This was the moment. Elizabeth turned her back onto you and your mom's and stormed off, sprinting up the stairs and to her room before anyone could stop her. I have to go talk to her. Ma immediately started to follow her, but Mom gently held her arm and shook her head. We should give her a little space to process it. Well, her ma head hung low, but she stopped walking. With Elizabeth now gone, the two of them seemed to remember you and Lee were still standing awkwardly off to the side. I'm sorry you had to see that all that. It's not how I expected it would have happened when the time came. But since it's the topic of the day, Dawn, is there anything you would like to ask? You deserve to know after all. Lee patted your back and gave you a supportive look. Sorry, Chad, I'm making you listen to the MC's backstory. I want to know. Your parents both nodded in sync to your reply, ready to talk. I can leave if you want to have things be private. I want you to be here. I can do that. You guys are Lee to me at this point. Are you guys ready? I hope you guys are ready to cry your eyes out, because I think I remember what happened to my parents in this universe. Lee shuffled a little closer to you in support, and you were glad to have her there with you. It made you feel a little stronger somehow. You turned to face your parents again, preparing yourself for what they were about to tell you. Ma was the first to speak, her voice quivering in emotion. You were adopted as a baby, but 2 years after Elizabeth. We used a different organization that time. and you were adopted within the U.S. We're sorry to tell you, Dawn. Your parents had also passed away, and no other family members took you in, if there were any. That's why we wanted to wait until you asked. We didn't want to suddenly drop that in your lap. We wanted you to be prepared.
I'm sorry.
We're sorry, Dawn. Lee gave you a reassuring squeeze on the arm to show she was there for you. It's not your fault. You didn't kill them, right? That would be my response. Like, tears would probably start at that point. You were trying to lighten the mood, but your moms didn't seem any less grim. Thanks for listening, Don. If there's anything else you would want to know, all you have to do is ask. We'll do our best to answer any questions you have.
Are you okay?
How are you feeling now? Are you gonna be okay? Lee watched you closely, as though judgment exactly she should have reacted to what was going on. Honestly, I would definitely be picking. Honestly, I would try and hold back tears. I'm not okay. We're sorry, Don. Your mom's looked just as sad as you felt. No one seemed to have any words after that. Oh. Honestly, at this point, my character would probably just want to talk to somebody who doesn't know. More than anything, that moment, you wanted to see Cove. No one could be there for you the way he could. I'm gonna go out just for a little while. I'll be back before it's really late. Your mom's nodded, understanding, trusting you to make the best call for yourself. Lee's footsteps echoed from behind, and you knew she was following you. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if Lee. You can come with me. I know I can't. Lee, it's the wholesome cousin. She gave you a smile and walked with you to the door. Once outside, you strode across the street. Purposely, Cove's house set in your sight. After you raised the knock at the door, it was only a few moments before Mr. Holland, to answer it, gave you a broad smile. Cliff's face fell suddenly. He could tell something was wrong, but he didn't say anything. Instead, he looked back towards the hallway where you knew Cove's room was located. Cove, Dawn's here. After calling his son, he turned back to you with an encouraging thumbs up. He won't be long. Anyways, as promised, it didn't take long before footsteps echoed down the hall, and Cove's head of green hair appeared before you all. OMG, Cliff. Yeah, like I said, you miss Cliff, and now Cliff is that. Dawn? Cove pushed past his dad to stand with you outside the door, watching you, with concern etched all over his face. You kids be safe. If you need anything, you know where to find me. He gave you a kind smile before softly shutting the front door, giving you some privacy. Cove stepped closer still, and spoken cautiously.
What's wrong?
What's wrong? Lee said nothing. I shift to you instead, waiting for you to speak. If I wanted to speak to Cove, this would not be my answer. I kind of thought so. Do you want to tell me more? My parents, before both my moms, died just when I was just a baby. Moms didn't say how. Maybe they don't know, but there wasn't any other family I could live with. So that's why I got adopted. Without having to say anything else, Cove reached out and pulled you in a tight embrace, his familiar warmth enveloping you. I'm sorry, Don. Oh. His words were whispered, comfortingly on your shoulder. I'm just gonna start crying. Because let's be real, I would be crying. You pressed your face into the crook of his neck, unable to stop the tears. The hold he had on you tightened. Can we talk somewhere else? You felt uncomfortable huddling around the entrance of Cove's house. That feeling didn't seem to be a problem though. Yeah, let's go. Cove took you by the arm and carried you along behind him. You followed without protest. Lee stayed just as close as she followed along. You headed towards the hill where you and Lee had spent the majority of your day. Things seemed so different. Then, only a couple of hours ago, you wondered how everything has changed so drastically. You took a seat in the grass beside Cove, who bent his legs and rested his arms on them before he turned to you again. Can you explain everything to me? You nodded softly before taking in a heavy breath and launching into the story. Cove sat quietly and listened intently, nodding every now and then, or taking in a sharp inhale. It took a long time for you to relay the details. Dozens of stars were pinpointing in the sky as the night wore on. Silence settled between you as Cove sat quietly for a moment, contemplating everything you said. Well, when he finally spoke, his voice was quiet, drifting through the night towards you. Dawn,
I'm so sorry.
I'm really sorry about what happened to your parents. So sorry. He stopped suddenly and took a deep breath. Shaky breath. And you got the impression that he was struggling with what was right to say. I feel bad that I don't feel worse about it. I'm sad I'll never get to know them. Honestly, if that ever did happen, I would be sad that I never got to know my parents. I'll never find out what they were doing or what they're like as people. It's just all gone. Don, you're not doing anything wrong. You know that, right? I think that's you can be sad as you want for a long time you need, or can't feel anybody about it. It's whenever you want to. He sighed and ran his hand through his hair as he looked out over the ocean.
It's okay.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, whatever you feel about it is how you feel about it. You don't have to focus yourself to be different. Honestly, this is like flipped. If you've been with me at the beginning of the series, this is a flip. This was a 180 flip on the whole. Like, he's now the one reassuring me. Christ, Christ, softly. Even if, even if what he said was true, the situation still upset you. Stifling quietly, you wipe away your tears with the back of your head, and you didn't see how you could even ever move past this. Ko smiled at you, and you could tell he was trying to be comforting. Oh, your mom's definitely don't. It doesn't matter if you're not blood related. You're definitely family. I can see that, and I hope you can too. You felt pressure and reassurance in his eyes. Your cousin tried not to interrupt your explanation or Ko's response to it. When the opportunity arose, she made it clear she would share the same statement. You stayed up on that hill a little bit longer, looking out over the ocean and the stars that shone brightly above it. After talking about the situation with someone who wasn't directly part of it, you started to see things in a different light. Above all, you were glad you have Cove and Lee's support, and you couldn't count on them if you needed it. Hey! Oh no, it's Elizabeth. Suddenly, the voice of your sister behind you made you jump. You saw her standing a little ways away. She walked closer, and you didn't quite know what to do or what she was planning on saying.
So?
Would you mind going? I want to talk to Just Dawn. You can come back if it's not gonna be forever or anything. Cove seem oh my word, seem equal parts concerned in speculation. Leaving now wasn't a concept that thrilled him. Oh. Lee wasn't exactly jumping to go, so she checked with you quietly. What do you think? You can't ask that. Dawn, please. This is private. Okay, girl. Damn, Lizzie. Oh, I'm sorry. Elizabeth. Elizabeth gave you a hard stare. You haven't missed much. It's now we're just getting into a conversation here, oddly. Elizabeth gave you a hard stare, and eventually you relented. You waited until the two of you were alone before fixing her with a cautious stare. But yeah, if you've seen the big reveal, oddly, then you're fine. You really haven't missed much. It's just we got to interact with Kelvin and cried. Elizabeth folded her arms, looking over you. To you. Did Mom tell you about your parents too? Oh my gosh, this is the first time Elizabeth is actually being in the caring older sister attitude. My birth parents also died. Elizabeth broke eye contact after that. Oh. Sorry. Why did you want to talk to me? Elizabeth raised an eyebrow at the question as you thought the answer should be obvious. I was worried about you. I wasn't the one who brought it up, but I made you deal with whatever was left when I was gone. She sighed, glancing upwards for a moment before settling on to you once more. I wanted to ask what happened without everyone breathing down our necks. Thank you for thinking. I'm amazed you've noticed that. What's unkind? Character development. I'll just like character development. I'll say thanks for thinking of me. I love how Oddly just goes straight to character development. I mean, yeah, she is still gonna be a brat, but yeah, no. She does care for me, it seems like, no. She sticks her nose up in the air, up a little at that. But her smile was soft. Might she be... Yeah. She's actually nice, lol. I don't know, DJ, but... She has that smile. The smirk of like she is the elder sister, but she's caring for me. That's all of this. It upsets me. She slipped into a scowl. I'm sorry, Dawn. It was pretty depressing topic. Yeah. ... You have to be born in the USA to become president. Oh no, what? You had never heard of that dream of hers before. She noticed you bafflement and confused. I get I was never gonna be president, but it just feels weird having stuff taken away, not even getting a chance at all. I don't like having to know that when I was born, I was gonna have a completely different life. So different, I can't even think about what I'd look like in my head. I could have spoken another language, living away from everything I've ever seen here, and someone else as my sibling. Was that nah? Yeah, no. Was her attitude of being president? Being president wasn't going to work out for her regardless. But let's be real. This is definitely character development for her at least. And my parents died when I was adopted, and the life I got became a totally new thing forever. I can't go back to what it was, even if I wanted to. My friend. Well, hope him the best of luck, honestly. A heaviness settled into you, and the person who became your sister. I feel like that too. That's sad. I can't stop wondering what my life would have been like if I wasn't adopted. There were so many things that could have been different. Yeah. On paper it looks good, but in reality it's probably not the best. But hey, to each their own, honestly. But it doesn't hurt to have dream jobs, obviously. Heck, I will state this. When I was younger, I wanted to be a NASCAR driver. Never got that dream to launch off. Hey, if she becomes president, I would be glad to have her as president if she's going to be a good one. But other than that, yeah. Same done. Wow, let's go, Oddly. Anyways, Elizabeth watched you seriously. She was still trying to make sense of this into herself. So, I don't know why today was today. Nothing came up to make me ask the question. It was just something I had in my head for a while. While it was just me and Mom's in the living room, I kind of said it finally, and there you go. Hey, sometimes you gotta figure out where you want to work. Right now, I have a new dream job of being a potential voice actor, which I wouldn't mind, but no guarantees. She shifted from one foot to another, realizing her stance just a bit. She also spoke more genuinely. Learning from them and what happened doesn't change how I feel about our family, Dawn. She smirked, fixing me with sharp eyes. I already figured a long time ago that moms weren't our biological parents. That wasn't news. It really doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ollie's giving out some good advice there. That is. My chat's being wholesome while I'm having a wholesome moment with Elizabeth. Nothing about her family. Nothing about the family I was born in would have made me decide that this wasn't my family anymore. If you had hope you'd be free from my big sistery status, don't think you are so lucky. She bumped her across. She bumped her shoulder against yours playfully, and her lips tilted in the corners.
You'll always be my little brother.
You'll always be my little brother. I hug her. This is the only time this is gonna be wholesome, chat. This is the only time I'm not calling her a brat. It took a few seconds, but she gave you a quick squeeze in return. You'll always be my family too. Chuckling, seeming pleased with how the conversation has gone in the end. Ready to head back home? It's been a long day. You gave her a nod. Welcome back, DJ.
Come on.
Come on. You three, let's go. I love how we're talking about growing up stuff as I'm going through the growing up story. You walked home together, comfortable, silent down the well-worn streets. The familiarity of it all felt nice. That is true, oddly. When you stepped through the door, you found your moms quietly sitting together at the kitchen table. Their heads snapped up, and they got on their feet made to meet you. Ma gave you a careful smile. We're so glad to see you. But I'm fine with it now. Same. But yeah, I'm gonna say I'm sorry for walking out before. That's alright, sweetheart. We were just happy to have you here again. Ma then came over and wrapped her arms around you and Elizabeth, giving you a tight hug. And it didn't take long for Mom to join in, putting her arms around you both. I'm interested. I need motivation. That is a mood. That is a mood, oddly. That is a mood.
Love you.
We really care. We really couldn't have asked for better kiddos. We love you. More than we could ever say. Well, I think you could do it. Oh,
Aw.
moms. That's interesting. Well, moms, I love you too. It was a nice moment, and you enjoyed it as long as you could. They both pulled back eventually and grinned at the two of you, and you knew then that you all had each earned each other, and you always would. To draw sometimes. Hey, that's always a good way to go. Like, no problem. Yeah, no. DJ, I will state this. Fire Creeper, my friend, does some art streams. So if you want to, go and check some of Fire Creeper's art streams, because Fire has some really good art. And there's a little bit of me in there in the chat, being a little bit of a bickering friend. But yeah, no, if you want to see someone who does drawing, Fire Creeper. I don't know when Fire Creeper will do her next art stream. Hopefully soon. But from my understanding, she's going to do Terraria next week. And then, I will spoil this, but guarantee the next week? I would have to check timing and see if it works in our favor. But I should be able to enjoy it. I'll be collabing with her at her time for a game. So yeah. So you'll get to meet Fire Creeper if you don't want to meet her now. You'll meet her within 2 weeks. I do stream early at that point. Anyways, to the actual story. Well, now, since we're all here, how about we do something together as a family? That sounds like an excellent idea. Sounds good. I should watch it. Yeah. I'll have more information next week on times. What is it again? I don't know what you're talking about there, TJ. That sounds like an exciting idea. We should have some fun before the night's over.
Totally!
I love the sound of that. Okay. Cove looked a little bashful, likely over being included as part of the family, but he tried not to pay much attention to it. Why not? You hated the smile that treaded to tilt your lips, knowing that Elizabeth must have been in a good move if she hadn't even teased Kel for being part of it. And no matter what she could have said about it, you wanted him to be here. He was someone who was really important to you. Who got a suggestion? It should be something we can do here in the house with everyone in the same room. You suddenly remember the show you and Lee had been working on earlier. Maybe we're gonna do our show. A show? This is the first time we're hearing of this. I'm intrigued.
Wonderful.
It would be amazing if you put it on for us to watch. Oh yeah, I need to see what you cooked up. That'd be cool. You smiled at Lee, who returned in gesture, while bouncing on her heels in excitement. Take some seats, and we'll get everything together. Your mom's collected chairs from around the dining room table. Let them cook, chat. Yeah, let us cook. And the chairs from around the dining table. Set them in a row in the living room, where there was enough space for the show. While they did that, you and Lee quickly gathered supplies you needed and reshaped the plans one last time. You listened through the song you've chosen one last time. You also took a moment to cycle through your dance move you planned. And you've collected your instrument from your room, making sure it was ready to go. When you two returned to the living room, everyone was sitting and chatting amongst themselves while they waited. The group quieted down when you and Lee stood in front of them. Your makeshift stage, on your makeshift stage, Lee was buzzing quietly with excitement beside you. I felt nervous all of a sudden. I always get nervous. No matter how small the audience was, it was still all eyes on you. Okay, so welcome to our show. We only came up with today, but we promised it'd be good. No refunds. Laughter rippled through the mini audience. Then you nodded at Lee, and we're ready to begin. Lee took a deep breath, waiting for the few beats it took to get into song. and started singing. Your part of the song, you, your part of the song joined in just a few moments later. You smiled at each other as you sing together. The dance moves you practiced been perfect. Practice been perfect with the tempo of the song. You strum along your guitar. When the performance was over, Lee took your hand in hers and the two of you bowed deeply together. Everyone gave you a round of applause and cheered for an encore. When you straightened yourself up, you were happy to see that even Elizabeth was clapping for you. Bravo, bravo.
Good job.
You're so talented. Your family rose from their seats and came over to congratulate you more directly. You were beaming from ear to ear. Cove was the first one to approach, stepping up to you and Lee with a smile on his face. Oh my god.
It's nice.
Nice job. Thank you. You're really great at with the guitar, Don. It was cool. Cove chuckled and shook his head. Your parents gushed about how great everything was, and thank you for sharing it with them. Elizabeth was complimentary in her own way, although she did describe the show as cute, which you knew she meant as kind of kitty. I could not read chat. You laughed it off, whatever, and you were happy that everyone had a nice time. In the moment, you could have been more pleased to be part of the family you had. And chat, that is it. That was the final story for the day. So yeah, no, that was it. So no guarantees that there will be a stream Saturday. If anything, it might be next week. So yeah, no guarantees. So don't go rushing off saying, oh, there's gonna be a stream, and then not see a stream. So yeah. Don't be surprised if no stream shows up. So yeah. Okay, see you, DJ, and also, yes, everyone else. Alright, Tony Boy, I'll see you next time. Yeah, I will make more announcements on the community post as well, just to make more statements. Maybe even the NASCAR thing, because I'm still trying to work that one out and make it feel like it would work for either stream or video format, just so then you guys can watch it. But yeah, ended off on a sad, positive note. So yeah, I don't know when the next stream for this could be. It might be the end of the month or third week of the month, because I want to try and finish this, at least get past this stage quickly. But if we don't get it, then it's not gonna hurt me, because let's be real, busy day, like I'm being busy. But yeah, other than that chat and my Foxlings, I will catch you in the next video or stream. Bye!